Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. So this is going to be my next figure that I want to paint up on this channel. This is Commander Dante from the Blood Angels. Now the Blood Angels, the chapter colour is generally red. There are units that do have a different colour. I won't go into why. So the Blood Angels wasn't a chapter that I particularly liked painting. In fact, I think I only have painted about 10 figures as Blood Angels, and that was as part of a game called Space Crusade, where you had 3 squads, or up to 3 squads, boarding a space hulk and trying to clear the hulk of aliens. Now, one squad was Ultramarines, another squad was Blood Angels, and I think the other squad was Imperial Fists. So in 40k, the chapter that I quite liked was the Ultramarines, which were all blue, and then the Imperial Fists were yellow. So yellow and red were not really colours that I wanted to attempt to paint over black back in the day. Let me just show you the back of the box. So I don't think there's much more to see really. I don't think there's any alternatives that you can do for Dante. I think he is just this figure. As you can see, he's predominantly gold, so I'm hoping it's a case of painting him gold, a wash of, I think it may be Reikland Flesh Shade, and then a dry brush of gold over that to get the highlights, but we shall see. Let me just show you the contents. So there is just the one sprue, and then you get a plastic base, which is just the circular Games Workshop base. Here we have the instructions of how to put them together. So that stage is 1 to 5, and then we have stage 6 to finish off the construction. So I'm going to keep this as one video, as I have done with the other figures so far. So the next time you see this, there will be some progress. Probably I will show you the figure constructed. So I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, so a bit of an update on the Commander Dante figure. As you can see, the gold armour has been done on him. What I did was I sprayed the figure matte black from Colour Forge from a rattle can. Once I'd done that though, it didn't look quite right. I don't know whether because it's quite wet here in the UK at the moment, some of the moisture got into the paint. It looked kind of like a very dark grey. So what I did was I painted the figure 8Ks black all over. Once that was dry, I used Vallejo's Glorious Gold from their game colour range, 72056, and I painted that all over the armour. Once that was dry, I gave it a wash of Reikland Flesh Shade from Games Workshop. I didn't let this pool anywhere. I just wanted it to go into the recesses but not sit on any of the flat edges. Once that was dry, I then dry brushed the Glorious Gold again from Vallejo over the figure. I must admit, initially it looked a bit more brass than gold, and I wasn't very happy, so I went over again with the dry brush to just try and give it a bit more of a gold look. And then once that was done, I mixed in some chrome from Vallejo's Model Air range, 71064, into the Vallejo Glorious Gold, and that was my edge highlight, my top highlight. A bit of a silver kind of tint, just to give it a bit more of a gleam. And this is where I am now, looking pretty good. So the next stage is we've got some whites to add, some reds, some greens. The trick is to not get those colours on other parts, on the gold armour of Dante. So I'll leave it at that for the moment, and I shall update you in a bit. Okay guys, so here is the finished Commander Dante. It didn't take too long at all, to be honest, just a couple of sessions at the bench. I thought I'd give you a bit of a background about him. Commander Dante is among the most storied Space Marines in the Imperium, a beloved son of Sanguinus, who has led the Blood Angels chapter for more than 1,000 years. Appointed by Guillaume himself as Lord Regent of the Imperium Nihilis, Dante soars over the battlefield in gleaming golden armour. Once in the fray, the piercing gaze of his death mask frees his enemies with unnatural fear, even as he cuts down foe after foe with perfect strikes from the axe mortalis. So, as you saw, I basically did all the gold armour first because there was quite a bit of dry brushing and there was quite a bit of gold on this figure. The rest was picked out in reds, in a bone colour for the purity seals. The black was highlighted. His axe, which is a force weapon, I tried to give that a bit of a crackle look on the blade, and you know, where the power comes from. It was an interesting figure to just do as a, you know, a one-off project. I'm quite pleased with the results. The only thing I struggled with is actually writing Dante on the shoulder guard. It didn't turn out too well, but yeah. So this figure is complete, and I can move on to something else. I may not keep this figure, to be honest. I may see if I can sell this on eBay and get a bit of money for it. I'm sure there's a Blood Angels fan who would like to have this as part of their army. Anyway guys, I really appreciate the people who subscribe to the channel. Thanks ever so much, and thank you to those who comment on this new channel. I hope your week is going well. Look after yourselves, and I'll catch up with you soon.